Okay, so here we go with another Batman classic TV series unboxing from Mcfarlane Toys. You can see it says Batman 66 because this is actually based on the comic book, not on the television series, because, of course, Wonder Woman never appeared on the television series. And there's the digital render of the character, and we got some artwork by Mike Allred because this is from the comic book, like I said. And unfortunately, even though this is based on the television series costume that Wonder Woman wore in the classic 1970s television series, where she was portrayed by Linda Carter, unfortunately, I guess they were not able to acquire the rights to Linda Carter's likeness herself, so the figure does not look that much like Linda Carter. Actually, it looks, I think, a little bit more like Linda Carter on the digital render on the back. So they must have, at some point, adjusted her to look less like Linda Carter. It does, to me, though, look kind of like Mike Allred's artwork. Like, not necessarily how he drew Wonder Woman, but how kind of draws women in general. You know, it feels like how he draws girls. So that's okay. You know, it's not perfect because it doesn't have that Wonder Woman, the Linda Carter likeness that would have made it perfect, but it's still a nice looking figure, I think. So let's go ahead and open her up. And she does come with an accessory, which is the magic lasso. Now, one thing that I noticed that is kind of odd about this magic lasso is that it is yellow, not gold, yellow. Hi, Aunt June. How we doing today? I mean, it's kind of a little bit, slightly, just a little bit metallic looking, but it's just kind of a piece of yellow cord. But she got her magic lasso, so that's nice. And if you think I'm going to untie this thing, you're insane. I do not like to unwrap any of these cords or anything nowadays because it's just going to make a big old mess. Let's go ahead and cut the rubber tabs. She's got one double rubber tab around her ankles and another one around her hips. And it looks like that's it for the rubber tabs. So let's go ahead and pull her out of the package. And there is Wonder Woman. And you can see, you gotta love the golden lasso. That's like the most important accessory you could give to Wonder Woman. And not a lot of figures come with them anymore, any like they used to. Like pretty much every Wonder Woman figure when I was a kid came with some kind of golden lasso kind of accessory. And the original 8-inch Mego Wonder Woman did not. But I never had that one when I was a kid. I had the 12-inch. More like Jimmy Carter? Oh, geez. but I never had the 8-inch Wonder Woman figure when I was a kid, but I did have the 12-inch Mego figure. She came with a golden lasso that was like a little piece of golden elastic. And then, of course, the Superpowers Wonder Woman came with just kind of a piece of golden string, and that wound up getting lost. So my grandmother, who I miss every day, my grandmother took a piece of golden elastic and kind of tied a loop in it and gave it to me for my Superpowers Wonder Woman, and it was better than the lasso that actually came with that original Superpowers Wonder Woman because it was elastic and it was stretchy, so I could loop it around the villains and tie them up, and it was fun. So yeah, my grandmother was a very special lady. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about this action figure. So yeah, the likeness is not that great because I guess they just didn't get the rights to the likeness, so that's unfortunate. The costume on the figure, though, is pretty darn accurate, with one major glaring difference that I noticed right off the bat is if you look at the top half of her costume, this is obviously the bodice from the New Adventures era when they went over to CBS, and those were the episodes that took place in the 1970s. And they redesigned her costume somewhat when it went to CBS, and you can see the way that the eagle is done here, where like there's that red space between the feathers on the wings, so it looks I think the reason that Donfeld was the man who designed these the costumes. I think the reason that he made that change was so that there would be more differentiation between the feathers on old style tube televisions. Like back when we watched TV back in the old days over broadcast television, kind of not all the details would come across, and her eagle just looked kind of like a kind of vague gold shape. So this was, I guess, to put a little more definition into it. So that's why she had that different bodice in the second and third season. Now, in the comic book, where they did the crossover between the Adam West Batman and the Linda Carter Wonder Woman, obviously that took place in like the 1970s after Wonder Woman returned to man's world, and Batman came out of retirement, and they teamed up. So she was wearing the 1970s costume in that comic. Now, the difference between this costume on this figure and the way that the costume actually looked in the second and third season is the stars on her shorts. You can see that like there's stars all over these shorts. And in the New Adventures version of her costume, it only had the stars over like the top portion of her shorts, and then it was just kind of blank blue on down the lower portion of her shorts. And I suspect the reason they did that was probably because, whenever she'd sit down or something, you'd wind up having a lot of wear and tear on those stars. So they probably figured, why even bother to put the stars on there? Just, kind of have the stars, up around the top portion, and that should be fine. So anyway, let's go talk about our articulation. So Wonder Woman's head does turn from side to side, but of course, since she's got this longer hair, it's going to kind of bump into her shoulders. So I'm pretty sure I could get the head to turn all the way around, but I'm not going to bother. I also noticed there's this big UKCA mark on her shoulder. Probably would have been better to put that somewhere else. It looks kind of like a weird scar where it's at. But thankfully, when you've got her hair in like the default position, it covers up most of it, so it's not that noticeable. Wonder Woman's arms rotate all the way around at the shoulders, and they move up about that far. Made that funny sound effect when she would jump. So yeah. Let's see. Got a single joint of articulation at the elbow. That's about the range of articulation that you get at the elbow. And of course, that rotates all the way around. She's got wrists that rotate all the way around. And then she rotates all the way around the waist. Wonder Woman can kick up almost 90 degrees, not quite 90 degrees. She can kick back actually a bit further. So yeah, there's that. And then Wonder Woman has a single joint of articulation at the knee. That's about the range of motion you get at the knee, and it rotates all the way around. Which it's like I kind of bent her knee a little bit when I did that. Oh well. It should pop back into shape eventually. Now, you see she's got a little loop here on her belt, and you can take the magic lasso and hang it on the loop on her belt, which is always a nice thing to have on a Wonder Woman figure. Some Wonder Woman figures have the magic lasso as like permanently attached to her hip, but I like to have it as a removable piece. Did she wash her hands in the invisible sink? Oh God, I hope so. But yeah, they did a good job, I think, with the sculpting on this figure, even though, like I said, she doesn't look much like Linda Carter. But, let's try to get past that. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. The costume has a lot of good detailing to it, like a lot of wrinkles in the belt and, just the right parts. And then she's got like, her boots are kind of smooth and tight fitting. They almost look more like the way they draw the boots in the comic book. They don't have any wrinkles to them at all, really, on the boots, like you would imagine they would have in real life. And then she's got gold bracelets. Not in the comic books at the time, the bracelets were usually depicted as black. And of course, in the post-crisis version, her bracelets became silver. And I believe they were silver on the first season of the show. But again, when they redesigned the costume in the second season, they switched to gold bracelets, and you see they got little stars on there. And I think the main reason they put the stars on the bracelets was to hide the squibs that would go off when she would do the whole bullets and bracelets thing. So whenever she would bounce the bullets off her bracelets, she had like a little button in her hand, so she could pop off the squibs when she did that, and it would look like the bracelets were deflecting the bullets. The intern got mixed up and put Jimmy Carter instead of Linda. That's harsh. But yeah, like other than the fact that it doesn't look much like Linda Carter, it's a pretty decent figure. They definitely did a better job with Wonder Woman than they did with Superman. So I'm definitely pretty happy with how this figure turned out. Now, hopefully, at some point, they will actually get the rights to Linda Carter's likeness, because I think they were. There's rumors, at least. I don't know if there was actually like an announcement or anything, but I think it was rumored that they were going to do for Multiverse a Linda Carter Wonder Woman figure. So maybe they'll re-release this when they get the rights to her likeness. That would be pretty nice. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it for this episode. There's not a whole lot else to say about it. Like, it's a nice enough figure. It could have been better, obviously, if it looked more like Linda Carter, but what are you going to do? That's just that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you like and subscribe. All the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Wonder Woman, both the character in general and this figure specifically. I'm going to have a lot more stuff to open up next week, and I think the next thing I'm going to open is going to be this. Ooh, from the new Batman Forever Retro line, exclusive to Target. I have the Batmobile. So definitely looking forward to opening up that. I've got the Platinum Edition Jonah Hex with the white version of General. I've got a whole lot more multiverse stuff to open. I've got stuff that's supposed to be coming from Big Bad Toy Store tomorrow. Allegedly, it's coming tomorrow. Hasbro should make a Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno 2-pack, because that was, just for me, one of my favorite television shows when it was on the air. It was appointment viewing for me when I was 3 years old, and would apparently, as my mom tells it, I would hide under the coffee table whenever he would turn into the Hulk. But I was still watching the show. I loved the show. I always loved the Hulk. I always loved the Hulk. It was cool. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We will talk to you next time. Bye.